It is so rainy and gloomy today. Perfect day for reading. Hello my loves, so I want to give a reading update on House of Sky and Breath because I haven't shared any of my thoughts and feelings on the Crescent City series apart from my mini review. In my previous video, my recent reads, I talked about Earth and Blood, and then I mentioned that I'm currently reading House of Sky and Breath, and I gave a little mini kind of overview of what I'm currently thinking of it. But I thought I would go into a bit more depth right now. So I am on page 574 and I'm getting there. I am nearing the end. I've got like 200 pages or just over 200 pages left, so we are getting there. I'm trying to think about the best way to articulate how I'm feeling about this book. I am intrigued in the plot and the political elements. I am intrigued in 98% of the perspectives that I get. I just don't care for our main characters anymore, and I mean Bryce and Hunt. Found their story and plot really interesting in the first book, and I was all for it and I was all for them. And I was so invested in their plot lines and their character development. I was so invested. And then that book ended and I was happy. And it's not that I want these characters to be completely gone. That's so not the case. But I just don't want them to be the forefront of the story anymore. I am so much more invested in these new characters that we have been introduced to, or like the further development of the characters that we met in the first book. The development of side characters have definitely been present in this book. I just want more of it. I don't care for Bryce and Hunt anymore. Like, they're there, cool, great, love that for you, but I want more Rune. I want more of Tharion. Is it Tharion? That's how I've been saying it in my head. Tharion? We'll go with Tharion. I want more of Ethan. I freaking love Ethan and I just don't have enough of him. I want more of Ethan. Give me more Ethan. There are a couple of characters we've just been introduced to that I'm so excited about, and I really, really hope they get developed because I feel like they could bring so much. I've just realised that my pyjamas are there. Sorry, I do apologise. They could bring so much to this story if given the chance. So I really hope Sarah J. Maas gives them that chance because they deserve it. And I'm excited about it. I'm excited. And I hope I don't get let down. And from what I'm kind of hearing about the third book, is it Flame and Shadow? That could be completely wrong. I might not be happy with the perspectives we get in the third book, because from the sounds of it, it's more Bryce and Hunt. Like, we get it. But plot line wise, I'm really enjoying it. It can be a bit confusing at times, and I have found myself getting a bit lost with like what's actually happening and who is who. It can be a bit like, what? And there have been moments that I've like forgotten something, like someone's related to someone and I've forgotten that they're related, but they kind of, Sarah J Maas does like remind you, but it's just a bit like, oh right, oh yeah, I forgot that was a plot that you set up in the last book, or like 16 chapters ago. So there is a lot of information thrown at you, and I mean, it doesn't hinder the story. Like, if you do forget something, chances are you're reminded when it's needed to be reminded, so it's not that bad. But it can feel a lot of times. It can feel quite intense and a bit confusing, which can be quite frustrating. But I'm still really enjoying it. I'm still very much intrigued. I feel like there are a lot of characters, right? There are a lot of characters in this book. Probably a similar amount to the ACOTAR series, to be fair. However, I remember pretty much everybody in the ACOTAR series. I don't remember everybody in this series. Like, their names will come up and I'll be like, who are you again? Remind me who you are again. The character development, maybe it's just me, but some characters just aren't that rememberable. I'm hoping that will be maybe developed a little bit better as the book goes on and in the third book. Overall, this is sitting at a 4 out of 5 stars for me. Like, I am really enjoying it and I'm having a good time and I am getting invested, and I have had moments of being like, oh, what's gonna happen? Like, oh, but I am not enjoying it as much as the first one. Yeah, I don't see this going any higher than a 4 out of 5, to be honest. But I'm kind of getting more anxious as I get close to the end, because I've heard the ending's insane. Like, I've heard it's insane. So a little bit nervous about that, but I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, that's just some quick thoughts about House of Sky and Breath. I am really trying to push through with this book before starting another one. However, Powerless keeps playing on my mind. I'm literally seeing it everywhere. In every booktube video I'm watching, in every bookstagram post that I'm seeing, I just keep seeing Powerless, and I'm like, and everybody's like ranting and raving about it. They're saying it's like a 5 out of 5 amazing, like, top tier book, and I'm like, should I just buy the book? But then I'm starting another fantasy when I'm already in a fantasy. I really want to finish this. I really want to finish House of Sky and Breath. I would love to finish this by the end of the week. I think I might make that my goal. I think I want to finish this by the end of the week. I would also love to finish Percy Jackson. If I can get these 2 books done by the end of the week, I will be a happy gal. Happy gal. So I think that's going to be my goal. I feel like I could finish Percy Jackson pretty quickly. I could probably finish this tonight if I really buckle down and set myself to it. So I'm tempted to do that. And I want to get House of Sky and Breath done. I want to get it done. I want to know how it ends so I can move on, basically. So I can move on. So I have an appointment at 2:30. It's currently 20 to 12, so I've got a good like 2 hours and 50 minutes until my appointment. So I think what I'm going to do is get snug, get cozy, and you know what, yeah, I'm gonna read more. I'm gonna try and get through this book. Let's do it. You can tell she's been out. The hair did not look like this when we left the house. Yeah. Today has been a day of uni work, studying, getting assignments done and done. It is now 4 o'clock. I got back like half an hour ago. I've literally been chilling on my bed scrolling through Instagram. But now what I'm gonna do is I am going to wrap my friend's birthday present because she comes back today. And she's not just any friend, she's my flatmate. So I need to wrap her presents, write her birthday card, get that done. And then I'm going to read some more of that book right there. I've really gotten back into, what are you? House of Sky and Breath? Yes. I've really gotten back into it. I still don't really care that overly about Bryson Hunt, but I'm not as bothered by it as I was before. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it actually. And I'm kind of like, yesterday when I was reading it, there were moments where I was like gasping, and things that I thought I predicted, I was like, oh, I know exactly where this is going. I know who that mysterious person is. Like, I figured it all out. She was wrong. Yeah, she was wrong. And we love being wrong. Like, we don't want to predict these things. So I now have completely no idea where it's going. And I want to know. I just want to know. So I'm going to wrap my presents, write the cards, and then I'm going to make myself a cup of tea. And I'm going to read some more. Oh, it feels so good to be back into reading. It feels so good. Okay, let's go. TPR video, go ahead and check that out because that is going to be mostly, if not the plot of the next couple of weeks. And I've talked a little bit more about the main character there and things like that inspired for me. And yeah, so there's so much that I want to talk about here. I have one great reading month, so most of my videos, if not all my videos that I have one that was like before this, will be tea. So this is the 7th book of the Throne of Glass series. It's like the 8th. If you want to excited to finish this series. I had to read it because I knew that there was going to just go ahead and jump right into Kingdom of Ash, and I'm already enjoying this one, characters in this universe, and I'm really excited reading this. And I will give a minor updates along the way, but so far I am really enjoying it so much more. Okay, so there's that. Tonight though, I am only going to be reading my physical read, which is A Deadly Education by and all I really knew going into it was that it had to do with like a magic school, and there's like a potential. I'm gonna call her Elle. We follow our main character Elle, and she is very pessimistic into this school, and the way that the school is built is very strange. So far, it is like. Hello, my loves. So I have literally just finished filming my spring book haul, so hence why I am in the same place wearing the same things. But I wanted to quickly give my final thoughts on House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J. Maas because I have finally finished it. And I just wanted to quickly wrap up this reading vlog with the final thoughts. So here we go. My final rating of this is 4 out of 5 stars, which I was anticipating, and I'm not disappointed by it, and I'm not sad by it. I have actually kind of written down my thoughts and feelings because I didn't want to just sit here and ramble, because I know I tend to do that. So I split it into 2 separate things, plot and then characters, because those are the 2 things that kind of drove me throughout the book. So I am tempted to just literally read you what I've written, because I think I summarize it best like this. So this is what I said. I overall enjoyed the plot. There were moments where I was slightly confused by what was happening, but not to the point where it impacted my understanding of the story. Predictions that I made turned out to be wrong, which was a nice surprise. Despite knowing an element of the ending, I was still left shocked, and it leaves me wanting to find out what is going to happen next. So yeah, there was an element of the ending that I knew was going to happen. I didn't know how it was going to happen, but I was expecting it. It was kind of semi-spoiled for me by social media. But even though I was expecting it, I was still caught off guard. I was still surprised. I wasn't anticipating the way it played out, which was really, really nice. And it literally happened in the last 3-4 pages, like right at the end. So I was kind of reading the ending, waiting for this event to occur. And when it wasn't happening in like the last 50 pages, I was like, am I wrong? Am I wrong? Like, does this not happen? Have I been fed misinformation or something? But no, it does happen. It just happens literally in the last few pages. I can see why people have been anticipating the next book. I cannot wait to continue with the series. I will be waiting for it to come out in paperback, and I'm hoping they continue with these gorgeous covers, because these covers are stunning. I think they're so beautiful, so I really hope they continue to release the paperbacks in these covers. If not, I'm gonna be so sad. I'm gonna be so sad. But the plot wise, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I am genuinely curious, and like not just the main plot but also the subplots that have been interwoven within the book and the series. I am really looking forward to seeing how they all play out. So then the next section is characters, and this is what I had to say about the characters. So as the story went on, I was caring less and less about Bryce and Hunt. We are introduced to other characters with storylines that I was more interested in. Bryce started to get a little annoying at times, which is a shame as she is the main character. Love the found family that the characters have, especially Ethan, and I hope to see more of his character in the series. I'm surprised by how much Rune's character grew on me and his involvement within the politics and plot. I hope his story is focused on in future books, especially with how the book ended. I feel like I don't know Declan and Mark as well as I should, despite them being quite present in the book. I hope their characters get developed further. Tharion I really enjoyed as a character, and I warmed to him a lot more as his presence grew throughout the book. I don't have any strong opinions about Hunt. Character-wise, again, I've summed it up pretty well there. Bryce and Hunt. Bryce is kind of annoying me at this point. Hunt, I don't have any strong feelings towards, like, at all. He's just there. And that's fine, I guess. It's the characters such as Rune, Ethan, Declan and Mark. I really want to get to know them more. I really want to. I feel like I don't really know them that well, and I really want to explore their characters and their backstories a lot more. And I really love the kind of brotherhood found family that the four of them have created, like Rune, Ethan, and Declan and Mark. I love their dynamic as a quadruple. Well, actually, it's Tharion as well. Tharion. Sorry, yes, 5 of them. There's not just 4, there's 5 of them. The 5 of these boys. I love it. How they've all kind of come together and found each other. I just love it so much. So I really hope their stories are continued, because their storylines, their plots within this book, I found more interesting than the main plot of Bryce and Hunt. Those 5 characters in particular made it a 4 out of 5 stars. I think there is probably maybe 2 female characters in this book that I really like, but again, they're not really one of the main you've got Bryce, and then you've got Bryce's kind of 2 friends, but they don't have the biggest presence in this book. They are there, like they come in and out, but they don't have the biggest presence. There are just a couple of other female characters in this book that I would love to see more of, but apart from them, I haven't really clicked with any female characters in this book, which is a shame, because the female characters in ACOTAR, I loved Nesta from the get-go. So many people didn't like her, but I loved her from the get-go. And even Feyre in the last book, kind of gone a little bit, but Feyre throughout the ACOTAR series, I loved her, I adored her. So it's a kind of a shame that I haven't had the same connection with Bryce. I did in the first book. House of Earth and Blood, I really liked Bryce. I liked her a lot. I just don't need more of her. Considering with how this book ended, I'm hoping my opinions of her will change in the next book. I'm going to have to read the next book to obviously see if that happens, and hopefully Hopefully it will. Those are my final thoughts and feelings on the Crescent City series so far that I've read. Obviously there is House of Flame and Shadow and Flame. I feel really bad that I can't remember. Flame and Shadow, House of Flame and Shadow. I will be waiting for it to come out in paperback. I'm not jumping to get it right now. I've kind of got other books that I want to prioritize and crack on with, and I also think I need to take a bit of a break from high fantasy. So what I am currently reading, because I haven't given you a reading update after finishing that, so I'm still reading Percy Jackson and the Battle of the Labyrinth, and I also picked up Godkiller by Hannah Kanner, which I am pleasantly surprised by this. One, I'm really happy about because I think when I did the mini book haul with this in a previous video, I mentioned, I think it was like enemies to lovers romance. It's really not. And I'm so happy that I was wrong about that. I don't even know where I got that from, because it doesn't even suggest or mention romance in the back, like on the back at all. So I don't know why I got that vibe, and I'm kind of annoyed that I expected it. And I think it's because there's so much romantasy going around at the moment, and I've read a lot of romantasy recently. Obviously I've just finished House of Sky and Breath, which is very romantasy. So I think I've kind of given fantasy this whole cookie cutter that there's also going to be romance in it, and I cannot tell you how happy I am to say that I was wrong. So I'm really enjoying this. I am about 136 pages in, so I'm about halfway, and yeah, I'm really enjoying this. The representation in this book is phenomenal. Not just kind of queer representation, LGBTQ plus representation, but also disability representation is done phenomenally in this book, which in a fantasy I feel like I've never seen before. That is just such a breath of fresh air as well. It's multiple POVs, which I really love. I love a multiple POV book. It just keeps me wanting to keep reading. It keeps me wanting more. So I love that. And I currently really enjoy every single one of our characters. There isn't a character at the moment that I don't like. And we currently get 4 POVs, which can seem quite a bit of a lot. There's like in House of Sky and Breath, you get kind of a few POVs as well. And this isn't a big book. This is about 300 pages. 4 POVs for a 300-page book can seem a bit kind of like bit much, but no, it is done so well. Hannah Kanner has done a wonderful job at balancing the different POVs. This is her debut as well, which has me kind of gobsmacked. It is such a well-written debut. The world building is phenomenal. We love a map. I hope you know at this point about me, we love a map. I think she's Scottish. I think the author is Scottish. A Northumbrian writer living in Scotland. She's inspired by world mythologies, angry women, speculative fiction, and the stories we tell ourselves about being human. Yeah, she has done a phenomenal job so far, and I'm only halfway through her first book. It's kind of slow pace, but in a really good way. There has been action and there has been conflict, but at the moment we're kind of, the pace has slowed down a little bit, but necessarily. And I'm not finding myself bored. I'm not finding myself that it's dragging. I'm still really enjoying it, even though the pace has slowed down a bit, which again, I think that just goes to show that her writing, she has written these scenes brilliantly. I would say this is currently sitting at a 4 stars. It hasn't hit that 5-star for me. I'm not kind of sat here like, oh my gosh, like it's a 5-star. Like, it hasn't hit me like that. I'm really enjoying it. And when I started it, I was a little bit unsure. When I first read when I read the prologue and the first chapter, I was a little bit like, oh, I don't know if this is for me. I'm not too sure. I don't think I'm going to enjoy this as much as I hoped. I am so happy that that has changed. This is what I'm currently reading alongside Battle of the Labyrinth, and I see me finishing both of those pretty soon because I really want to crack on with my spring TBR. If you haven't watched my spring I don't know if this, I think this is going to go up first. So if this does go up first, then you have my spring shopping vlog, spring TBR shopping vlog to look forward to. So excited. I am going to wrap up this reading vlog here. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Bye!